And now it's here. Or should I say, I am.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Two Guys and a Few Good Men. I am TJ Washuk.
And I'm Garrett Loberg.
And this is Movie Lowdown for the week of April 22nd, 2019.
Yeah, busy week this week. We had Endgame come out and a couple other news stories. So
Garrett's been waiting forever for this movie.
I have, and it didn't disappoint. So let's get right into the news.
Let's get into it.
All right, so first up this week, we have news about James Wan, one of your favorite producers for horror, right?
Yeah, for directors.
Yep, and he's going to be producing a new adaptation of Stephen King's Salem's Lot for New Line Cinema.
Yeah, and I think this is the first Stephen King movie he's worked on.
Yeah, which is nice because I think with his record, I think he's deserved a Stephen King.
Because he's worked on the Annabelle series, Conjuring, that whole franchise.
Correct.
That he created.
Yep. So that's. Do you know about Salem's Lot? I didn't get to look that up.
No, I don't.
I've never heard of that one, but I can imagine it's probably something to do with witches.
Yeah. Stephen King always has great stories, so it'll be fun to see what this one's going to be about.
Correct.
Stop, holy man! You can do nothing against the master.
They're breeding on one another. The vampires are creating vampires.
The master wants you.
It's a geometric progression. 2 times 2 times 4 times 8.
There's a dead man upstairs.
And also news, we have some coming from Netflix. So the Oscars, the Academy, they were having some pushback. Even Steven Spielberg, I believe, was pushing back on Netflix on this. So they were saying that Netflix wouldn't be able to get an Oscar because they are not in theaters for 7 days in an LA theater.
Correct.
So that was the issue. But now the Oscars are taking that back and saying that yes, Netflix can go up for an Oscar.
Now, was there any
Netflix movies, sorry.
Was it any specific time frame? Like they have to have an hour and 30 minutes, or it has to have did they give any?
The only thing I read is it has to be in an LA theater for 7 days at least.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Netflix is like we've been talking about since we started this.
And they've been putting out movies in the theaters, but not usually for 7 days, so maybe they're going to start doing that.
Did Bird Box get a theoretical release?
No.
It was because it was kind of under the radar, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I know that Triple Frontier was in theaters, select theaters for maybe a couple days.
3 days.
Yeah,
they
only
did
3.
that.
And then also The Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
Yes, I remember that. That was
in
during
theaters.
Christmas. Yeah.
But Netflix is trying to get into the Oscars. And this is a big thing for streaming in general because this might pave the way for other companies to get nominated on Oscars.
Well, Amazon already.
And
has
Amazon,
put movies through.
They've been doing it longer, I think, than Netflix.
And they've actually had it so they could actually put movies. Like some of those Amazon films are in theaters.
Beautiful Boy.
Yeah.
That was at Amazon Studios.
So these are coming out, and we're going to start seeing that in the next couple of years. I think that when Netflix actually does, or I think Amazon will probably take the cake before Netflix. I feel like Netflix does good drama, but I feel like after watching some stuff on Prime, there's some really good drama there.
Oh, yeah.
So
they've definitely gotten a lot better.
It's tough to say what's going to happen, but honestly, theaters are going to always pump out movies, but so is Netflix now.
Yeah,
And
I think we're going to see
streaming
just a little shift in that. Also, Netflix and Amazon have their own theaters now. So remember, they're
right.
buying movie theaters.
Well, we'll see where that lands them too. That'll be interesting.
Yeah. What do we have next?
I read about this and I thought it was newsworthy. I found out that there is a Keanu Reeves festival in Scotland in 2 weeks. Excellent. It's going to have a screening of all the movies that he's in, minus I think a few that he was very minor character. I think, was it Top Gun he was in?
No.
Or something from the 90s that he was in that's not going to be shown. But they're also going to have a double presentation of Bill and Ted. I believe it was at the beginning and at the end they're going to have it. And they're going to have a bunch of special guests. The special guests that were on there were a lot of people that are Irish. So I didn't know they had some of their celebrities. But there was a couple other people. I forgot what the names were. They weren't big celebrities out here. They're more
But over in Ireland, they are.
Mm-hmm. But it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be something that's going to be interesting. I didn't realize that there were that many Keanu Reeves fans in Ireland.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they're all over the world.
Scotland.
Oh, Scotland.
Scotland.
Sorry, mates. Oh, that's Australian.
That's Australian. You're hitting all the wrong ones.
Yeah, this is kind of cool to see a festival dedicated to Keanu Reeves. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think it's something that he personally would put on.
I don't
For
think
sure,
so,
he's not
no.
that type of guy. He's very humble kind of a guy.
He's very quiet too.
Yeah,
so,
that too. He keeps to himself.
Yeah, I'm surprised he actually did a GQ interview. I think it was this week. GQ or something else, Variety, where he talks about his motorcycles.
Oh, well, that's kind of on topic because he rides motorcycles in his new movie, John Wick Chapter 3.
True, and he rides a horse and shoots somebody.
Yeah.
And kills somebody with a samurai sword.
Oh my god. I
So,
can't wait.
We need to see this movie now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is going to be in 2 weeks. So we might just have to go to Scotland to go see this.
Take a movie
festival.
Lowdown trip.
We'll just go.
Just donate,
Far from
$500.
If you guys could all send us $700, that would be great. That way we can get to Scotland and back and go see. So next up we've got Who's in That Movie.
Who joined that movie?
I'm ready to go in, Coach. Just give me a chance.
One of them we'll go over, and another one I want to talk about. But I got first one is Mary Elizabeth Winstead. She was in 10 Cloverfield Lane, Scott Pilgrim.
She was the girlfriend in Scott Pilgrim.
Yep. She's going to star in a movie. I think it's called Kate. It's C-A-T-E.
C-A-T. Okay.
Kate. I don't know the actual pronunciation
Yeah.
of it. But it's about a girl who's got 24 hours to live. She's been poisoned. And she's got to go throughout Tokyo's downtown area and figure out who this is.
And what happened.
What
How do I
happened.
cure it?
Yep. So it's one of those, I want to say it's cliche, like a movie cliche, but I think that it sounds good because it's a Netflix.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, it is a Netflix. And if I'm wrong about that, please post-edit. Make fun of me. But
I think that would be a fun suspense thriller.
yeah, they
The
do.
premise sounds interesting.
She's a very solid thriller actor. Like, she can do very serious, which helps with thrillers because it gives off more of a genuine vibe to it.
My thought then is you should leave the state.
200. And we want the stamp.
For what?
It's the principal.
And we also have a movie called Ghost Army. It's going to be starring Ben Affleck. He's going to be an actor and a director in this.
Yep.
It's adapted by the True Detective creator, Nick Pizzolatto. And a lot of people didn't like the Triple Frontier. I liked it, but so we'll see. But this movie is about a drama that tells the story of a secret force that relied on the sleight of hand and illusion of tricks in the Nazis in 1944. They had inflatable tanks and sounds to make it seem like they had a big army heading towards a Nazi camp and basically trick them. And that's hence why it's called Ghost Army.
Yeah. And I don't know, it sounds funny. It sounds like that could actually have some humor in
Yeah,
this.
it does sound like it's going to be humorous kind of.
But it does sound serious at the same time because they are actually tricking forces and bringing forces their way, so they got to put that stuff out there and then get out really quick so they're not in trouble. Now, funny thing I was thinking about with this, do you think that the reason that Ben Affleck is going to be directing this is because if he was just an actor in it, I don't think they could bank on him, you know, with his situation of going to rehab and alcohol. Do you think that this was something that they did so that way they could have him on the project, and if he was directing, they knew he would have to stay on the straight and narrow?
Straight and narrow, because he has to direct too.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
So, because a couple months ago we were talking about how big his just his budget that they're going to have for him for insurance is. So I'm wondering if the insurance just goes down, if they know that they can put it all on him, that just goes out of his account or something like that.
I don't know. I think it said Pearl Street is producing it. I want to say that's his production company.
Oh, okay. So he can probably get away with doing something like that. Okay. But yeah, I just saw that and I was just like, oh, I didn't. Maybe he's only able to do these because he's in such hot water.
Yeah, right, I mean, I want to see how he. No, is he still gonna be big like he was in Triple Frontier? He looked like he was like suffering from alcoholism.
Yeah, he definitely looked very sad,
very puffy too.
Very puffy, yeah. So. We'll see. Ben Affleck, we're rooting for you.
People either hate him or love him. Yeah, he's one of those guys.
Ben Batflack.
What else?
All right. Well, next up we've got our
Golden shit of the week!
awesome. It's TJ. What do we got for the golden shit of the week this week?
So unfortunately, we got Hellboy in the news. Hellboy has done really bad, extremely bad. What exactly happened, Garrett?
So I've been following a new subreddit, and it's called Box Office. And really, what it does is it breaks down the numbers of how movies go sales wise. Mm-hmm. And I can tell you right now that last week, before Infinity War, during the La Lorena, I think placed about somewhere around top 3.
Yeah.
Hellboy, out of maybe 12, 14 films that are out there, landed last.
Damn.
So that means that they went their first week from being probably pretty high, even though it wasn't the numbers they wanted to hit.
Yeah.
To just straight flat down to the lowest. And this was Hellboy had the 11th worst ever count drop. So that means it was starting
after the first week. It just went
boom. Like the amount that they made that week was laughable. I think it was in the 1 million. I think maybe 1 million.
Damn.
Just on a weekend, that was all. While everyone else was making 42 and so that's our golden shit of the week. That poor Hellboy
and La Lorena wasn't that big of a horror movie.
No, actually I was seeing pretty bad, not bad reviews, but pretty skewed reviews. The other thing too is it's funny because I was talking to a couple of people in my class I'm going to.
Yeah.
And they were like, has anyone seen Hellboy? And I was like, yeah. And me and the girl next to me was like, yeah, I did too. And I was like, what did you think of it? And she was like, it was so bad.
Yeah, I mean...
And she was like, it wasn't bad, but it was just like so over the top sometimes and dramatic.
It very much was.
It was just so laughable. So it was definitely one of those movies that people talk about, and not in the good way, sadly.
True. But like we said, it's not like if you're not a fan of Hellboy or the comic books in general, you probably wouldn't like it at all.
Exactly. So, but yeah, that is the movie news for the week.
Yeah.
How about we get into some trailers?
We got movie trailers.
Okay, first up on our movie trailers, we have Gemini Man. This is a Will Smith movie. He's the main character. But we also have who we were talking about earlier in the news, Mary Elizabeth Winstead. So it seems like she's back into acting. Mm-hmm. So we haven't seen her for a while. She was on a hiatus or something.
I think, I don't think she got many parts. I think she's been doing smaller parts.
Okay, because I haven't seen her in a movie in a while.
She was, I want to say she was in the last Godzilla, or she's going to be in this one. I'm not sure. Let's see her.
Let's take a look real quick. She was in recently. Oh, Love, Death, and Robots.
Yep. She's been in Fargo. That's what she's been doing Fargo the last couple of years.
Oh, that's right. The TV show.
She's
Fargo.
been doing Fargo.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited to see her. She's been doing a couple of different projects, like we were talking about earlier. Mm-hmm. She's starting to do some Netflix stuff. So
yeah,
good on her.
And we got Clive Owen. Mm-hmm. Haven't seen him for a while.
Yeah.
He looks like he lost a lot of weight in this movie.
Yeah, he's very skinny in this movie.
I don't know what happened.
Also Benedict Wong. If you know, he's from
Doctor
Avengers.
Strange.
Yep, Avengers and Doctor Strange. He plays Wong.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny.
And then the director is Ang Lee, and Ang Lee, he's worked on
quite a few great movies.
He's worked on Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Life of Pi, Brokeback Mountain, and a few others. So he has quite a bit of good movies under his belt.
Yeah. So Ang Lee, I remember Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, watching that as a little kid, and being, this is like so masterful the way that they fight in these scenes.
It's beautiful. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So I'm really excited to see this, especially the fight scenes. I'm really interested though in Billy Ray, the writer.
Yeah.
Seeing how he does with this, because it looks very action based. So I wonder if a lot of the stuff is more action than talk.
I mean, based off this trailer, it looks like there's a lot of action in this movie.
Yeah, and it looked like there was a lot of like filler as well, like trying to find. He's basically we think it's going to be more of like a more science fiction, but it's going to be more maybe like a Looper. You said.
Yeah. Sorry. So Billy Ray, go back on him. He worked on Hunger Games and Overlord and Captain Phillips. So, you know, he's a good writer. But yeah, you got Will Smith here. It seems like he has a clone that's younger than him, and his clone's like, oh, he knows all my moves.
Straight up house.
Which is like very interesting. But I was thinking it might be like a Looper in a way, kind of like what came out with Bruce Willis and what's his face? Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I don't know. I'm kind of skeptical on this though, because Will Smith's track record lately.
Yeah, it's been pretty sketchy.
I'm not a huge Will Smith fan, but he can do action movies.
Yeah,
he can do action movies.
We'll see. We'll see.
Like Legend, that was a great one. Or I Am Legend, rather.
I Am Legend.
iRobot. He has some good ones, but I don't know. It has a great lineup of people working on this. So this is Gemini Man, and when does it come out, guys? It comes out October 4th. So it's a fall movie, and look forward to seeing it.
Next up for our trailers, we've got 21 Bridges, which is a movie directed by Brian Kirk. Brian Kirk has done a couple of films such as, or not films,
He's
episodes,
worked on
TV shows like Game of Thrones, Luther, which is a British show, which is actually really good.
Yeah, I like it. It's on Netflix.
Yeah, have you seen Hard Sun?
No.
I've seen Hard Sun. Hard Sun's okay. I didn't realize he wrote that stuff, so good on him.
Yeah.
But it's going to be starring Taylor Kitsch. We got Sienna Miller, Chadwick Boseman, and J.K. Simmons and Keith David. Yeah, so
good cast.
But basically, this is kind of
a crime drama.
Crime drama, yeah. Where basically somebody, actually two guys, are in a botched robbery. It looks like, and they end up shooting about 8 cops, or something else happens that we don't see.
I'm sure there's like crooked cops in this.
Yeah. So, but it's about Chadwick Boseman's character going around and trying to find these guys, and they basically close off all of New York.
All 21 bridges, hence the name 21 Bridges.
And also the subways, everything.
Yeah.
Water.
Just on a manhunt.
Yep. So, but it looks a little over the top for me.
Yeah.
It definitely, I like watching it, I was like, oh, this is cool action. Then I realized, like, man, like, this is a lot.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know how I feel about it.
I mean, they've had this happen probably before in New York, where people have been, cops have been shot, and not maybe that many, but it just seemed like when they were like, I'll close all 21 bridges, it was like, oh wow,
yeah,
they're going for the gusto on this. And you know, it seems like they catch them. So
it seems like it'd be predictable.
Yeah. So, and you can catch this in theaters July 12th this year.
Yeah. So if you're a fan of Chad Boswick, what's his name?
Chadwick
Boseman. Chadwick Boseman. Check this out. And last up in our movie trailers this week, we have Murder Mystery. This is a movie starring Adam Sandler, Jennifer Aniston, Luke Evans, and a few others. This is being directed by Kyle Newacek. Kyle Newacek is known for Workaholics, Game Over Man, and Community.
Yeah, he was with Workaholics the whole time, too.
Yeah.
Through 11 to 17, I believe.
And then the writer is a producer as well. His name is James Vanderbilt. He's worked on Zodiac and Independence Day. Excuse me.
Yeah, and this actually was a fun trailer. You commented on Adam Sandler actually looked like he was actually living and not a corpse.
He doesn't look as fat as he usually does. He looks like he's taking care of his health, which is good to see because looks like Seth Rogen is replaced him.
Yeah, almost. He's become the daddy of comedy out now for the goofy comedies. So, but yeah, this looks fun.
If you're a fan of murder mysteries like Oriental Express, Guess Who or whatever, whatever it's called,
Game Night.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just it's about basically they're in Europe and France
on a
cruise, and they get blamed for a murder, and then it goes from there. They're basically trying to clear their name the whole time. So
yeah, it looks fun if you're into that type of genre of movies. It comes out on Netflix, so you don't have to see it in theaters. It comes out on June 6th, I think it said.
Yep, June 6th.
So, catch that here in a couple months. But let's move on to our movie review.
Even if there's a small chance, we owe this to everyone who's not in this room to try.
Wow.
So, Endgame.
Where to start? So this movie is the culmination of all 22, I believe, movies from Marvel so far. This was the nail to end it.
Yeah.
So that way they can start brand new and they can start building up newer,
new actors,
franchises, actors.
Basically branch out from here.
Exactly. So now we're seeing Marvel at their endgame, their own endgame. What was your takeaway from this movie? What did you think?
It honestly reminded me of a lot of Infinity War in a way. Just the plot, like the wave it went through, like the ups and downs. It was very similar.
Did you think at one point that if you put them side to side, that like when so spoilers, we're gonna say the spoilers right now. If you're not wanting to hit spoilers, we're just gonna cover some small things, but just so you know,
try not to.
Yeah, we'll try not to. There's a scene where something happens, and it felt like the same time in Infinity War that it happened, and same with all the other events, like you were saying.
Yeah.
So that I'm glad you thought about that, because I'm watching the movie and I'm going, this feels like Infinity War, but like way different, like an alternative version.
Oh yeah, it's very dark. It was so awesome to see. There's so much fanfare in this movie.
Oh yeah,
there's so much fanfare.
There's just too much, actually.
Yeah.
You start getting to a point where you're like, man, this is They got to the end, and I'm glad they ended it with such a positive ending, but such a crazy, out of left field ending at the same time. So it was nice to have all the fanfare that they had throughout the movie, and the ending just kind of shut it down. Like, okay, we're gonna quietly
just close the book.
What else?
So basically all the characters that you wanted to see act differently or be differently, they are in this.
Yeah, I thought Rocket was so. He, they made it so they make, Quill like the captain of his own ship. But we all know that Rocket is the captain of the ship.
He was very controlling and so on point.
He did it in a way that it wasn't like being belittling or anything. He's trying to make everything better, and he's just like,
you could tell.
He's
frustrated.
Yeah, one of my favorite lines in the movie was, I think it would be weird. And Natasha goes, I get emails from a raccoon. At this point, nothing's weird.
Yeah.
Like, that was another part. But anyways, continue. Sorry.
What else about this movie? Of course, the CGI is awesome.
Yes.
I mean, you already know. That's going to be great.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I enjoyed this movie. We've been watching this for, since 2008 was when the MCU started. Yep. And it felt nice. It was kind of like Harry Potter in a way.
Yeah.
Deathly Hallows, the last episode or the last movie. So it was like a nice ending.
Nice little send-off.
Nice little send-off. I have to say that I haven't been like the biggest Marvel MCU fan, so I didn't like all the movies that they put out, but this one I enjoyed.
Yeah.
I have to say.
By far, same exact thing for me.
Yeah.
I think that it was well worth the wait. I liked that they mishmashed a lot of things in this movie that you wouldn't expect.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we came to expect them because people just are too thinking, and they're too calculated, and they start figuring the stuff out really quick.
Yeah.
But no, it was such an awesome send off. It was so fun.
Yeah, that's one thing I could say. It was a fun movie.
I think there was maybe 2 spots in the movie that I was like, I could probably go to the bathroom right now. I got a couple minutes. It seems like a slow scene.
It is a long movie.
Yeah.
So most of you probably won't see this in theaters. Probably wait till it comes out on streaming services, I'm assuming.
Yeah, if you can't sit through a 3-hour movie, man, it's tough. We went in at 12 and we didn't get out till 3, and as soon as the credits hit, yeah.
Oh yeah. So the trailers themselves were 20 minutes long.
Yeah, right.
What else was I gonna say? I guess the most annoying thing about seeing this movie in theaters is the audience. Sorry, that was so annoying. So there's some Marvel fans. I don't know if they were drunk or high, but every little thing they laughed their asses off and were cheering. It was very annoying. I was like, I enjoyed it, like seeing it on screen, but I didn't.
You know what? There's a fine line between having fun in the movie, like, you know, when there's like those big scenes. Yeah, you're gonna get Marvel fans on your clap, and I actually like that. I like when they're really into the movies.
I just felt like it was over
but
the top.
The person that was in this movie was like, their laugh too. It was like it would like continue echoing, and it would be like, come on, dude.
I had to yell something in the theater actually.
Yeah,
it's like Jesus.
So, but it's one of those movies you can sit through. I'm excited for when it comes out on streaming service. I hope that I'm hoping that Disney Plus is like, by the way, whenever a movie is done, we're gonna release it way faster onto our streaming service than, you know, we would before on DVD. Maybe digital downloads will start going, or digital copies will start showing up on Disney Plus. But this is such a great movie. I love that they tie everything back into a lot of other movies, and they fix some problems that they had with these movies without going into spoilers. But it was way fun.
There's a lot of good comedic moments. They did great.
Very good on the comedy in this. It was very good. Super funny, and especially with the darkness in it, they played off really well. There was a scene where they do go ahead a little bit of time, and when they're talking about all the stuff that's gone down since, you know, that it was really dark, but at the same time, I think Rocket's definitely the light of everything. And then one big thing that I thought was hilarious was that's America's ass.
Yeah, exactly.
That
was my favorite part of the comedy parts.
Yeah, and then also, this is a spoiler, but it doesn't affect the plot in any way. I do love that Thor goes down the deep end. Yeah,
Thor looks awesome.
That was hilarious.
Yeah.
That whole storyline is very funny, and I like that they kept him. So, without spoiling anything, they are going to keep him for the next couple movies. And it looks like he's going to be joining the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Galaxy 3.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
You know, they might just flip it around and say, oh, we don't want Thor in it, actually.
Yeah, but it seems like
that's what they're going for, and it makes me wonder if that was the plan with Taika Waititi when they did Ragnarok. I wonder if they planned on him through Infinity War jumping with the Guardians, because he did have that interaction with them in Infinity War. So I thought that last night. I was like, I wonder, you know, if they are going to keep him. It seems like it, but I really do think that would be a really smart move on them, because then you don't have to pay him for a full movie. You pay him for scenes.
Yeah, exactly.
So you pay him obviously salary, but you can at least cut down that salary, because he's not going to be the main character of the movie. Because they're already expensive enough. But I think Chris Hemsworth in an interview recently said that he would play Thor as long as they would let him.
I think he's perfect for Thor.
He is. Regardless.
But I have to say, Thanos does not die by Ant-Man.
jumping up his butt.
But also, there wasn't anything that surprised me in this movie, I have to say.
No,
nothing surprised me. There was no
sadly.
twists. Everything that happened, I felt we already knew was gonna happen. So it's mostly just like I was saying, fanfare for the fans, just to be like, hey, thank you guys for being on this ride with us.
Yeah.
And we're throwing everything at you that you want.
I will say that it did sometimes feel rushed. And like
Towards the end.
It filled, like, that whole movie filled perfect with that 3 hours. Like, I would say almost 2:45, just because the credits made it 3.
Yeah.
And there's no end credit scene.
I felt the ending. Like,
Yeah.
the last, I would say 45 minutes felt rushed.
Yeah, definitely. And I think they had almost a 3-hour 30 movie, and they were like, we can't do this. Like, we're not going to be the first movie to go over, you know.
Like, even though it was a 3-hour movie, it still felt rushed. You know?
It did,
it was
yeah.
Just weird.
So, it did feel like they wanted to, like, maybe do this in 3 movies. And that third movie, they just were like, we're not going to have that much after, you know, this. So, because I felt like they could have...
I felt like they could have extended the fighting.
Oh, yeah.
More. There's definitely a good fight scenes in this movie, but I felt like they could add more.
Correct, yeah. They definitely could have. So, but all around, it's been getting basically 9s everywhere.
Yeah. Now, is this the best MCU movie? I don't know.
I think it is, because it's so hard to say no because of the culmination of like all the different movies. It's like, you know, if you watched all those,
it's like the sprinkling on the top.
Yeah, it's like the I would say the cherry on top. Like the Iron Man was the ice cream, and all the other ones were the different flavors, other movies, and then you got Sprinkles, which is Guardians, and all these other franchises we added in there, and then right at the top, all of them together is just that cherry on top.
That's exactly what I think too. But if you were to pick a standalone MCU movie,
Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier,
easily.
I definitely agree.
Yeah.
Winter Soldier was probably the best based off their cinematography fighting.
Yep.
Wow. Like, I wish I don't know if the same guy was in this movie. They had the same guy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It just didn't have too many close combat.
Well, the ending
scenes.
when they had the fight scene at the end, like they always do, that was probably the best choreography I've seen, other than, you know, some kind of cliche stuff happening in it. But it was just so they did a really good job on the action as well.
It was fun.
And talking about Winter Soldier, I think that people are gonna question the ending a lot. I think that's probably the biggest takeaway from this movie is that there was so many questions that were answers, and even especially Kevin Feige coming out and saying that Far From Home is no longer going to be the starting of Phase 3, or I mean Phase 4. It's now the end of Phase 3. That adds even more questions, because then did they really end Infinity War? Or I mean Endgame?
Yeah.
You know, or what happens after this? So we'll go over that in our spoiler video, of course. But for right now, we'll leave you with that.
Yeah, and I have to say Thanos was a great villain.
Oh,
I really liked him a lot.
Especially with this in this movie too.
I feel like he was even more ruthless.
Brutal. Oh yeah. So, but definitely go see it, guys. Tickets are going to probably be a little bit harder to catch for the next couple weeks, but you can still try. So that'll do it for this week on Movie Lowdown. We did try to do something new for you guys. We were going to do interviews outside of the theater for Endgame and see what people thought about it, or some of their favorite characters and questions. We weren't able to do it. We were kind of told that we had to talk
Pissed off?
Yeah, basically pissed off. But we did put together a couple clips from what we did have, and we hope you enjoy. As always.
Well, first, so just to end this, it's something we want to start doing is interviewing people at the movie theater. So once we get that taken care of, now that we know the correct route, we'll start doing that. So here's the start of a new type of format we're doing in Movie Lowdown, and we hope you enjoy.
Yeah.
Hi guys, Garrett from Movie Lowdown here. We're at AMC 14 in Mesa, Arizona, and we're here to talk to some people about Avengers Endgame. All right. Well, I'm joined here with Marvel super fan. We've got Josh Elkins here. Josh, how you doing tonight?
Fabulous.
Awesome. Josh, what's your favorite Marvel movie?
None of them.
Awesome. And do you think DC sucks or do you think they blow?
They're the best film franchise ever.
Well put, Josh. Thank you so much for being out here tonight. Hey, Thanos dies at the end.
This has been a Two Guys production.
This was great.
We're getting good footage.
Are you wearing purple on purpose?
Yeah.
He is Thanos.
Hi guys, this is Garrett with Two Guys and a Few Good Men, still wearing purple because goddamn Thanos just snapped the shit out of all of us.
Let's go!